Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. That isn't just a quote, it's a command, a call to war against fear, doubt, and the deadly comfort of inaction. Picture this. You wake up day after day feeling stuck. Your dreams scream louder than ever, yet your feet never move. You know what you want, a business, a book, a better life, but still, you wait. Wait for the moment. Wait for permission. Hill warned us. That moment never comes. Waiting is the disease. Action is the cure. Fear and indecision, these are not weaknesses. They are assassins. Hill called them out as the enemies of greatness and think and grow rich. Look around you. How many people talk about starting something big, but never take the first step? They're trapped in a loop of excuses, drowning in what ifs, haunted by regret, and they don't even realize it. Why? Because they believe the lie that motivation must come first, that they have to feel ready before they act. Hill shattered that illusion. He proved, again and again, motivation is a result, not a requirement. It is born through action, not daydreams. Built through discipline, not emotion. Fueled by autosuggestion, not wishful thinking. People who wait to feel inspired are the ones who never move, never grow, and eventually fade into obscurity. Think about the person with $1 million idea who never writes the first page, never launches the first product, never makes the first call. Their talent withers. Their spark dies. Not from failure, but from refusal to begin. And worst of all is indecision, the silent thief, the invisible killer of dreams. Hill didn't just criticize it, he declared it the greatest barrier between desire and destiny. So here's the truth. You will never conquer your fears by waiting. You will only destroy them by moving. Now, your mind is already powerful. What it needs now is your will, your decision, your command. He observed greats like Henry Ford, who made bold decisions despite criticism, propelling him to revolutionize an industry. Indecision wastes precious time, eroding our confidence and keeping us average when we were born for greatness. And don't forget fear and uncertainty, those shadows that loom large, as Hill described them as poisons that poison the mind. Fear of failure creates a loop of hesitation, where missed chances turn into regrets, holding us back from outperforming everyone else. Hill's insights show that these barriers are self-imposed, but recognizing them is the first step to breaking free. The solution lies in taking immediate action, as Hill emphasized, because persistent effort turns dreams into reality. Just like Thomas Edison with his 10,000 experiments, action builds momentum, even if it's imperfect at first. Start small today, perhaps by making that phone call you've been avoiding, and watch how it creates a habit of success. This approach gives you an edge over those who wait, allowing you to outperform competitors through sheer persistence. Strengthening decisiveness is key. Hill's mastermind principle teaches that clear, unwavering decisions forge your path to victory. Look at Andrew Carnegie, who built an empire by deciding boldly and sticking to it, no matter the obstacles. Try setting strict deadlines or journaling your choices to build this skill, transforming hesitation into decisive power. Now, practice the first step. Take one small action right away, as Hill did when he began interviewing successful people for his book. That single step can change everything, breaking the inertia and propelling you forward. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what one action can I take today to start my journey? Overcoming hesitation and fear requires facing them head on, just as Hill advocated through the transmutation of desire. When you act despite the fear, it loses its grip, much like Hill overcame his own failures to inspire millions. Use simple techniques like visualization or affirmations to reframe fear as an opportunity for growth. Remember, every time you push through, you're building resilience that sets you apart from the crowd. Learning from failure is another Hill gem. He believed that every adversity carries the seed of an equivalent advantage. Think of Edison's setbacks as stepping stones that led to his dominance, turning failures into triumphs. Apply this by viewing your mistakes as lessons, fostering a mindset that keeps you moving forward, unstoppable and strong. Building self-discipline is the foundation, as Hill taught in his chapter on organized planning, turning it into a habit for success. Discipline isn't about waiting for motivation. It's about showing up every day, like the millionaires Hill studied who rose early and persisted. This creates an unbeatable edge, helping you outperform others through consistent effort and focus. Start practicing positive habits today. Review your goals each morning or tackle your biggest task first, as Hill recommended. A simple routine, like 15 minutes of focused work daily, can build the discipline that transforms your life. Creating a clear vision and goals ignites that burning desire Hill described, turning vague ambitions into a powerful roadmap. Specific goals provide direction, crystallizing your efforts and attracting success, as he outlined in Think and Grow Rich. They eliminate distractions and build momentum, helping you outperform by staying laser focused on what matters. Write a definite statement of your goals, break them into daily actions, and watch how it reverses the motivation trap. Take Henry Ford as your role model. Despite no formal education, his decisive actions, discipline, and persistence revolutionized the auto industry. So, remember Hill's wisdom. Procrastination is the bad habit of putting off until the day after tomorrow what should have been done yesterday. Start now and become unstoppable. Welcome to this exploration of becoming unstoppable and outperforming everyone else, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Napoleon Hill. As Hill so powerfully stated in Think and Grow Rich, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This quote isn't just words. It's a blueprint for transforming ordinary lives into extraordinary successes. Think about the mental roadblocks that hold so many of us back: procrastination, hesitation, and a lack of motivation that feels like an invisible wall. Picture someone with a brilliant business idea, paralyzed by doubt, unable to take the first step, just as Hill described as the enemy of progress. Hill observed that waiting for the perfect moment leads straight to mediocrity, as seen in the lives of those who never acted on their dreams. But here's the truth. Action is the ultimate decider, not fleeting feelings or flawless plans. Drawing from Hill's principle of definiteness of purpose, we learn that successful figures like Andrew Carnegie didn't wait, they charged ahead. So if you're tired of being average, it's time to embrace Hill's lessons and start outperforming the crowd. Let's dive deeper into why we often fail to take action and how to break free from those chains. One major barrier is waiting for motivation to strike, but as Hill taught through autosuggestion, motivation is something you create, not something that happens to you. In Think and Grow Rich, Hill explains that relying on emotions leads to failure, because they come and go like the wind. Consider the person who dreams of writing a book but keeps waiting for inspiration. They end up with nothing but regrets. Hill's advice is clear. Use self-discipline to initiate action, turning that spark into a roaring fire. Another obstacle is the failure to decide, which Hill identified as a key weakness in those who never achieve greatness. He pointed to Henry Ford, who made bold decisions despite criticism, propelling him to revolutionize the auto industry. Indecision doesn't just waste time. It erodes your confidence and lets opportunities slip through your fingers. As Hill noted, indecisive people remain stuck in the shadows while decisive ones soar ahead. Fear and uncertainty round out these barriers, acting as poisons to the mind, just as Hill warned in his writings. Hill listed fear as one of the 6 basic fears, explaining how it causes hesitation and missed chances in life. Imagine someone afraid to pitch their idea at work, letting self-doubt keep them from advancing. exactly as Hill described. This cycle of fear leads to regret and keeps you average when you have the potential to be exceptional. Now, let's shift to the solution, taking immediate action as Hill prescribed. The power of action lies in its ability to build momentum, based on Hill's principle of persistent effort. Hill used Thomas Edison's 10,000 experiments as a prime example. Each failure was a step toward breakthrough success. Don't wait for perfection. Start small and watch how it creates a success habit that leaves others in the dust. Strengthening decisiveness is crucial, drawing from Hill's mastermind principle where clear decisions lead to empire building. Just as Andrew Carnegie turned decisions into a vast steel empire, you can do the same in your own life. Try setting strict deadlines or journaling your choices to build this vital skill, as Hill recommended. Remember, practice taking that first step, inspired by Hill's own journey of interviewing successful people despite his uncertainties. Pause this right now and write down one action you can take today. It's the key to unlocking your unstoppable potential. Overcoming hesitation and fear is next, using Hill's strategies to turn weakness into strength. Hill believed in facing fear head on through the transmutation of desire, where action dissipates its power. In his stories of personal failures, Hill showed how confronting challenges led to greater achievements. Try visualization exercises or affirmations from Hill's auto-suggestion method to reframe fear as an exciting opportunity. Learning from failure is essential, as Hill viewed it as a stepping stone with hidden advantages. He cited Edison's setbacks as proof that every failure plants the seed for future success. Apply this by reframing your own mistakes as lessons, building the resilience to outperform anyone in your path. Now, let's build self-discipline, the foundation Hill emphasized for lasting success. Discipline isn't about emotion. It's about organized planning, as Hill detailed in his chapter on the subject. Hill studied millionaires and found that their routines of repetition turned discipline into a powerful habit. This gives you an unbeatable edge over those who rely on motivation alone. Start practicing positive habits like daily goal reviews or tackling your most important task first, just as Hill's achievers did. Implement a simple routine. Dedicate 15 minutes a day to focused work, and watch your discipline grow exponentially. Creating a clear vision and goals is what ignites true motivation, according to Hill's burning desire principle. In Think and Grow Rich, Hill stressed that specific goals crystallize your efforts and attract success like a magnet. Goals provide focus, eliminating distractions and building the momentum to leave competitors behind. To get started, write a definite statement of your goals and break them into daily actions, inspired by Hill's strategies. This approach reverses the motivation trap, proving that action breeds the drive you need. Let's look at a real-life example to make this relatable, like Henry Ford's incredible rise. Despite no formal education, Ford's decisive actions, persistence, and discipline allowed him to revolutionize the auto industry. Hill highlighted how Ford faced fears, built habits, and took immediate steps, directly tying into our lessons today. By applying Hill's principles, Ford became unstoppable, and you can too. Start now and rewrite your own story of outperformance. In conclusion, remember that as Hill taught, motivation follows action, and overcoming barriers is the path to greatness. Key principles like decisiveness, discipline, and goal setting are your tools to rise above the rest. So, take immediate action. Choose one lesson and apply it today, whether it's setting a goal or making a decision. As Hill wisely said, procrastination is the bad habit of putting off until the day after tomorrow what should have been done yesterday. Your journey to becoming unstoppable begins right now. Embrace these lessons and watch yourself soar. Thank you for joining this transformative discussion. Go forth and outperform everyone else with Napoleon Hill's enduring wisdom. Remember, the power is in your hands. act on it, and unlock your full potential. Here's to your success, fueled by deliberate action and an unshakable mindset. Keep pushing forward, no matter the obstacles, just as Hill's greatest achievers did. You've got what it takes to be unstoppable. Now, make it happen. Stay committed, stay disciplined, and watch the results unfold. This is more than advice. It's a call to revolutionizing your life. Outperform, outlast, and outshine. That's the Hill way. End this session with a promise to yourself. Action today leads to victory tomorrow. You've absorbed these lessons. Now, it's time to live them. Be bold, be decisive, and be unstoppable. Farewell, and remember, your legacy starts with one step. Hill's principles are timeless. Apply them and change your world. Thank you for your time. Now, go conquer. Stay inspired, stay driven, and keep growing. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. These words from Napoleon Hill, the mastermind behind Think and Grow Rich, set the stage for a journey where ordinary people like you and me can become unstoppable forces in life. Imagine waking up every day with the drive to outperform everyone else, not through luck or talent, but through deliberate action and a rock-solid mindset. Yet, so many of us get stuck in the quicksand of procrastination, hesitation, and self-doubt, those mental roadblocks that Hill identified as the true enemies of success. Think about that friend who's always talking about starting a business, but never takes the first step, paralyzed by fear of failure. Hill called this the opposite of decision, a trap that keeps us average when we could be extraordinary. The need for change is urgent. As Hill taught, waiting for the perfect moment leads straight to mediocrity, while decisive action, like that of Andrew Carnegie, propels you ahead. So, let's break this down. Why do we fail to take action in the first place? It's often because we're waiting for motivation to strike, but Hill exposed this as a myth in his teachings on autosuggestion. He explained that motivation doesn't precede action. Instead, action sparks motivation, as seen in the lives of self-made millionaires he studied. Picture someone sitting around, hoping for inspiration to write that book or launch that project, only to watch opportunities slip away. Hill would say that's a recipe for stagnation, urging us to use self-discipline to push forward regardless of how we feel. Then there's the failure to decide, which Hill pinpointed as a major barrier to greatness. Indecisive people, he observed, rarely achieve anything remarkable, much like Henry Ford's critics who doubted his bold moves but watched him revolutionize an industry. Indecision doesn't just waste time. It erodes your confidence and hands the edge to those who act decisively. And let's not forget fear and uncertainty, which Hill labeled as mind poisons in his work. These fears of failure and the unknown create a cycle of hesitation, keeping you from the success that others seem to grab effortlessly. Hill shared stories of people who overthought every move and ended up with regrets, missing out on outperforming their peers. But here's the good news. The solution lies in taking immediate action, just as Hill prescribed with his principle of persistent effort. Action is the catalyst that turns ideas into reality, much like Thomas Edison's 10,000 experiments that led to the light bulb. Don't wait for everything to be perfect. Start small, start now, and watch as this builds a success habit that leaves competitors in the dust. Strengthening your decisiveness is key. Hill's mastermind principle shows how clear, unwavering decisions, like those Carnegie made, build empires. Try this. Set strict deadlines for your choices and journal them daily to sharpen this skill and outpace those who waffle. Now, practice the first step. Take one small action today, inspired by how Hill began his research with a single interview despite his doubts. Pause for a moment. What one thing can you do right now to move forward? Overcoming hesitation and fear is next on our path. Hill taught that action itself dissipates fear through the transmutation of desire. When you face fear head on, as Hill did in his own failures, it loses its grip, transforming into a powerful opportunity for growth. Use techniques like visualization or affirmations from Hill's auto-suggestion method to reframe that fear into fuel for your ambitions. Remember, learning from failure is essential. Hill viewed every setback as carrying the seed of an equivalent advantage. Just look at Edison's countless failures. They weren't defeats, but steps toward dominating his field and outperforming all rivals. Apply this to your life. Treat each mistake as a lesson that builds resilience and propels you toward unstoppable success. Building self-discipline is the foundation Hill emphasized. It's not about fleeting emotions, but about organized planning and repetition. Hill argued that self-discipline, honed through daily routines, is what separated the millionaires he interviewed from the masses. This discipline gives you an unbeatable edge, allowing consistent habits to drive long-term outperformance. Start practicing positive habits today. Review your goals each morning, rise early, and tackle your most important task first, just as Hill's achievers did. Implement a simple routine like dedicating 15 minutes a day to focused work to cultivate the discipline that turns dreams into reality. Now, create a clear vision and goals to ignite your motivation. Hill's burning desire is the engine that powers success. Specific goals crystallize your efforts, eliminating distractions and building the momentum to leave everyone else behind. Follow Hill's strategy. Write a definite statement of your goals. Break them into daily actions, and watch as this clarity reverses the motivation trap. For real-life inspiration, consider Henry Ford's story. Despite no formal education, his decisive actions, persistence, and discipline allowed him to revolutionize the auto industry. Ford faced fears, learned from setbacks, and took immediate steps, directly applying Hill's lessons to become an unstoppable force. In conclusion, as Hill taught, motivation follows action, and by overcoming barriers like indecision and fear, you can outperform anyone. So, right now, choose one lesson, decisiveness, discipline, or goal setting, and act on it. Your journey to being unstoppable starts today. As Hill would say, procrastination is the bad habit of putting off until the day after tomorrow what should have been done yesterday. Welcome to this exploration of Napoleon Hill's timeless lessons on becoming unstoppable and outperforming everyone else. As Hill famously said in Think and Grow Rich, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, setting the stage for a journey of transformation. Many of us face daily struggles like procrastination and hesitation, which Hill identified as major mental roadblocks to success. Picture someone with a brilliant business idea, paralyzed by doubt, just as Hill described in his observations of those who wait for the perfect moment. Hill taught that true progress comes from action, not from waiting for motivation or flawless plans, drawing from his principle of definiteness of purpose. In Hill's view, figures like Andrew Carnegie succeeded by acting decisively, not by lingering in indecision. Now, let's dive into why we often fail to take action, starting with the myth that motivation must come first. Hill critiqued this in Think and Grow Rich, explaining that relying on fleeting emotions leads to stagnation and missed opportunities. Think of that person endlessly waiting for inspiration to start a project, only to watch time slip away, as Hill warned through his studies. Instead, Hill advocated for autosuggestion, where repeated self-discipline creates the motivation we seek. Another barrier is the failure to decide, which Hill saw as a direct path to mediocrity. He pointed to Henry Ford, who made bold decisions despite criticism, propelling him to greatness. Indecision wastes precious opportunities and erodes your confidence, keeping you from the elite performance Hill's principles promise. Fear and uncertainty compound this problem, as Hill labeled them as mind poisons in his writings. In his work, Hill outlined the 6 basic fears, noting how fear of failure causes hesitation and regret in everyday life. But here's the solution. Embrace immediate action as your catalyst for success, just as Hill prescribed with his principle of persistent effort. Hill used Thomas Edison's 10,000 experiments as a prime example, showing how repeated action turns ideas into breakthroughs. Start small today. Take that first step, no matter how imperfect, to build the habits that outperform passive competitors. Strengthening decisiveness is key. Hill's mastermind principle emphasizes clear, unwavering decisions as the foundation of achievement. Look at how Carnegie built his empire through decisive actions, refusing to waver in the face of challenges. Try setting strict deadlines or journaling your decisions daily to cultivate this skill, as Hill suggested. Now, practice the first step. Pause and identify one action you can take right now, inspired by Hill's own journey of interviewing successful people. Overcoming hesitation and fear is next. Hill taught that action itself dissipates these obstacles through the transmutation of desire. In his personal stories, Hill overcame failures by confronting fears head-on, turning them into stepping stones. Use techniques like visualization or affirmations from Hill's autosuggestion method to reframe fear as an opportunity for growth. Remember, learning from failure is essential. Hill viewed every setback as carrying the seed of an equivalent advantage. Just as Edison persisted through thousands of failures to invent the light bulb, you can use defeats to fuel your unstoppable progress. Apply this by reframing your own failures as lessons, building the resilience that sets you apart from the average. Building self-discipline is the backbone of Hill's success formula, turning consistent habits into your secret weapon. Hill argued in Think and Grow Rich that discipline, formed through repetition, is what separates achievers from dreamers. This edge allows you to outperform less disciplined individuals, creating long-term momentum in any endeavor. Start practicing positive habits today, like Hill's recommended daily goal reviews or tackling your most important task first thing. Implement a simple routine. Dedicate 15 minutes each day to focused work, mirroring the disciplined routines of the millionaires Hill studied. Creating a clear vision and goals ignites your inner motivation, as Hill described with his concept of a burning desire. In his book, Hill explained that specific, written goals crystallize your efforts and attract success like a magnet. This focus eliminates distractions and builds the momentum needed to outperform everyone else in your field. To get started, write a definite statement of your goals, then break them into daily actions, just as Hill advised. Once you act on these goals, you'll reverse the motivation trap, proving Hill's point that action breeds success. Let me share a real-life example. Henry Ford's rise to dominance in the auto industry, as detailed by Hill. Despite his lack of formal education, Ford faced fears, built unyielding discipline, and took immediate action, revolutionizing an entire industry. His story shows that applying Hill's lessons can make anyone unstoppable. So now it's your turn to step up and claim that power. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Today, we're diving into the timeless wisdom of Napoleon Hill, the mastermind behind Think and Grow Rich, to unlock the secrets of becoming unstoppable. Hill taught that success isn't reserved for the lucky few. It's a direct result of deliberate action and an unyielding mindset. Picture yourself trapped in a cycle of procrastination, where dreams gather dust because you're waiting for the perfect moment. This is the mental roadblock Hill identified as the enemy of progress, turning potential winners into mere spectators. Think of that entrepreneur who knows they should launch their business but hesitates, paralyzed by doubt, just as Hill described in his observations of unsuccessful individuals. Hill's principle of definiteness of purpose reminds us that waiting leads to mediocrity, while action propels you ahead of the pack. Take Andrew Carnegie, for instance. He didn't wait for motivation. He acted decisively, building an empire that outperformed everyone. So, if you want to outperform others, embrace Hill's call. Action is the ultimate decider, not fleeting feelings or flawless plans. Now, let's explore why so many people fail to take that first step, as Hill so astutely pointed out. One major barrier is waiting for motivation to strike, but Hill debunked this myth in his teachings on autosuggestion. He explained that motivation doesn't precede action, it's born from it, much like how a spark ignites a fire only when you strike the match. Imagine someone dreaming of writing a book but stalling for inspiration. They end up stagnant, exactly as Hill warned in Think and Grow Rich. Instead, Hill advised using self-discipline to push forward, turning hesitation into momentum that leaves competitors in the dust. Another obstacle is the failure to decide, which Hill called the thief of opportunity. In his studies, he saw that indecisive people rarely achieve greatness, like those who waffle on investments while others seize the chance. Henry Ford exemplified the power of decision. Despite criticism, his bold choices revolutionized the auto industry. Indecision doesn't just waste time, it erodes your confidence, keeping you average when you could be exceptional. Then there's fear and uncertainty, which Hill labeled as poisons of the mind, holding back even the most talented individuals. In his work, fear of failure ranks among the 6 basic fears, causing people to overthink and miss out on breakthroughs. Consider the story of someone afraid to apply for a promotion, only to watch a less qualified colleague advance. Hill would say this regret is self-inflicted. These barriers are universal, but Hill's solutions empower you to shatter them and charge ahead. The real solution lies in taking immediate action, as Hill emphasized with his principle of persistent effort. Action transforms ideas into reality, just as Thomas Edison's 10,000 experiments led to the light bulb, outperforming skeptics. Don't wait for perfection. Start small today, and watch as this habit builds the momentum to leave everyone else behind. Strengthening decisiveness is key. Hill's mastermind principle shows that clear, unwavering decisions are the bedrock of success. Like Carnegie, who made swift choices to expand his steel empire, you can adopt techniques such as setting strict deadlines. Try journaling your decisions daily to sharpen this skill, turning hesitation into a competitive edge. Now, practice the first step. Hill himself began his legendary interviews with just one, despite his uncertainties. Pause for a moment and think, what one action can you take right now to move closer to your goals? Overcoming hesitation and fear is next on our journey, drawing from Hill's strategies to build unshakable resilience. Hill taught that facing fear head-on dissipates its power through the transmutation of desire into decisive action. In his own life, Hill overcame failures by confronting them directly, turning setbacks into stepping stones. Use simple techniques like visualization. Picture yourself succeeding, just as Hill suggested with autosuggestion affirmations. Reframe fear as an opportunity, and you'll find it fuels your drive to outperform those who cower. Learning from failure is equally vital. Hill viewed every adversity as carrying the seed of an equivalent advantage. Look at Edison's countless failures. They weren't defeats, but lessons that propelled him to innovation dominance. Apply this to your life. When you stumble, analyze and adapt, fostering a mindset that makes you unstoppable. Building self-discipline is the foundation Hill championed, turning it into the habit that separates winners from the rest. Discipline isn't about emotion. It's about organized planning, as Hill detailed in his studies of millionaires' routines. Those he interviewed rose early, tackled priorities first, and consistently outpaced their undisciplined peers. The benefits are clear. Self-discipline creates an unbreakable edge, leading to long-term success and outperformance. Start practicing positive habits today, inspired by Hill's definite purpose and plans. Begin with daily goal reviews or 15 minutes of focused work each morning. These small steps build the discipline of legends. A clear vision and goals ignite your inner fire, as Hill described with his concept of burning desire. Specific goals crystallize your efforts, eliminating distractions and drawing success like a magnet. Hill knew that vague ambitions lead nowhere, but precise ones create focus and unstoppable momentum. To get started, write a definite statement of your goals, then break them into daily actions, just as Hill advised. This process reverses the motivation trap, proving that action breeds the drive to keep going and excel. Now, let's draw inspiration from a real-life example, like Henry Ford, who embodied Hill's principles. Ford lacked formal education, but used decisive actions and persistence to revolutionize the auto industry. Despite facing fear and setbacks, he built discipline and took immediate steps, outmaneuvering competitors at every turn. His story shows that anyone can apply Hill's lessons to achieve extraordinary results. In conclusion, remember Hill's core message: motivation follows action, and overcoming barriers leads to true outperformance. Principles like decisiveness, discipline, and goal setting are your tools to become unstoppable. Right now, choose one lesson and act on it. Decide on a goal, take that first step, and start your transformation. As Hill wisely said, procrastination is the bad habit of putting off until the day after tomorrow what should have been done yesterday. Your journey begins now.